Assalamu alaikum, grade 11s. Okay, so you guys are having a little bit of difficulty with these questions on the scale of the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out these two questions that we were given for homework yesterday, which is number 2 and number 3 as an example for you, and then you can do some other questions for homework, right? Just leave out question 4. This one we'll do when we get back to class. It's just conversions. It's a lot of conversions in it. So I just need you guys to first grasp how to use the scale of the map and to understand. And really, it's not difficult. It's just a matter of you understanding what is happening in this question. So let me just explain it to you and make it clear, inshallah, right? So let's look at the first question there. So I'm going to do it with you, right? And then I want you to correct your work or redo it if yours is wrong, or mark it if it's correct, okay? So now the scale of the map is 1:15, 1.5 million, 155,000, right? So what you need to know, the information that you need to know from that, first of all, that is telling you a lot of information. So let's see what is happening, right? So the scale is telling me, so I've got number 2. Can you see my writing there? I've got number 2, so my scale. Now remember, we're doing numerical scales because later we're going to do a bar scale, which is much easier, right? So this is a numerical scale. Why? Because it's written in numbers. So I've got 1:1.5, right? So the first thing I want you to learn is that if you have a scale like this where it's telling you 1 and 1.5 million, right? This part here, you're calling it your scale factor. Okay, for now just learn it, and then as you do more examples it will become easy and you'll understand why we're saying that, right? Then the second thing you need to remember is that the 1 here is representing my map. Okay, I'm going to draw your picture now, and the 1.5 is representing my actual distance. Right, so this is my map distance, and that's my actual distance. Now in the first place, why do we have a scale? We have a scale because if something is too big, imagine if something is 1.5 million centimeters, how are we going to draw it on a piece of paper? We can't, right? So that's why we're scaling it down. But when we scale something down, so let's draw a map, right? Okay, so that's a simple map. I've got one town here, I'm going to call it A, and I've got another town here, I'm going to call it B, right? If I measure the distance from here to there, okay, I'm going to say that it's 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter from town A to town B. Okay, if it's 1.5 million centimeters, I can't draw a map like that, right? So I'm only going to draw 1 centimeter apart. But now what does 1 centimeter on my map represent? It's representing 1. This is my map, right? What is it representing? It's representing 1.5 million centimeters. Can you see what it's doing? All we're doing is we're using a scale, and 1 centimeter equals to something. Okay, so we're saying 1 centimeter equals to 1.5 million centimeters in reality or in actual distance. It's a representation on a map, and it's showing you, the numerical scale is showing you what 1 centimeter is, right? So for example, if you have 2 centimeters, if we have another town somewhere here, C, right? And we're measuring the distance. Sorry, I'm not doing it accurately. But if C is 2 centimeters, then what is going to be my actual distance there? I'm just going to multiply it by 2, and I'm going to say 3 million centimeters. Okay, so let's go through. So this is very important to just understand what this map is telling you. And if you look at any other map, I'll try to get you guys an example where you have an actual map and a scale, and then we'll measure it and do it, right? Because it's not about just looking at a scale and try to working out numbers. You have to visualize it in your mind and say, what is a scale telling me and what is it representing? Okay, so let's do number 2 together. right? So number 2 is telling you, okay, so 2 is telling you that the map scale is 1.5 million, right? Remember, in your mind, you need to remember that this is my map measurement always, and this is my actual measurement, okay? Now in 2.1, the question says, if the measurement on the map is 47 millimeters, so the question is asking you in millimeters. So what you need to do is, you have to apply the scale in millimeters. So what you're actually doing in 2.1 is you're saying 1 millimeter is representing 1.5 million millimeters. Remember, this is a ratio, so you have to have the same units. You can't say 1 centimeter is 1.5 million millimeters. No. So I want you to break it up in your mind when you're doing a question like this, right? So look at this question here, right? It's telling you how many meters is it on the ground. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to concentrate on the 47 and see what measurement on the map is that going to give me in millimeters. Then I'm going to concentrate on meters and do a conversion, right? So separate the conversion and separate the map measurement. So let's concentrate on the 47 millimeters, right? So I've got 47 millimeters, and I need to call this my scale factor. This part is my scale factor, because every 1 that I have, every 1 millimeter that I have, it's 1.5 million millimeters, okay? So now I'm having this scenario on my map, right? I've got a town A and I've got a town B, okay? So what I'm saying is, if I'm going to measure from town A to town B, I've got 47 millimeters, right? But my map is telling me, my scale is telling me, for every millimeter I have here on my map, each millimeter is 1.5 million millimeters in reality, okay? So it's telling me that each one is 1.5, right? So now I've got 47, and I need to know what is that 47, okay? And also I want you to learn it, that I've done it in the video yesterday. When you're going from the map measurement to your actual measurement, you're going to multiply by your scale factor. You use your scale factor and you multiply. Initially, just do it from memory, and I promise you later on it's going to become so simple for you. You're just going to be able to visualize it, and you'll know that it's obvious. If 1 is 1.5 million millimeters, I'm going to say 47 times that 1.5 scale factor, and I'm going to get my answer. So how do I solve this? I say 47 multiplied by my scale factor, which is my map measurement, right? So I've got my map measurement multiplied by my scale factor. I'm saying 47 times 1.5 million, and the answer there should be 70.5 million if you do it on your calculator, right? And remember, we're working in millimeters, so that's our answer, right? What I'm saying is, what I have done in my calculation here is that I've said 47 millimeters is actually how much? 70.5 million millimeters. In reality, this is my map and this is my reality. So can you see we can't do this on a map? So we've only drawn 47 millimeters, and then we have to show, what does that 47 millimeters represent? It's representing 70.5 million millimeters. Now the question says, how many meters is it on the ground? Now you worry about the conversion. So I'm going from, I wrote down that conversions for you here, right? So I've got, my question is in millimeters, and I need to go to meters. So what do I need to do? I need to divide by 10 to get to centimeters, and another 100 to get to meters. So what you're doing in totality is you're dividing by 1000. You guys were good at these conversions, so I don't think the conversion part of it is the problem. We did a lot of examples on that. So all you need to do is learn this off by heart, and then you write it somewhere on the top where you're doing your question, right? So we're going from millimeters to meters, we're dividing by 1000. So all I need to do is I'm going to say divide from millimeters to meters. So I've got 7. I hope you can see what I'm writing there. Sorry. Okay, divided by 1000 is going to give me 70.500 meters. Okay, and now we want to still carry on. We want to go to right, so we've got meters, right? So that was 2.1. Okay, can you see now? This is a different part of the question. This is conversion. Don't mix it up in your mind. Separate the questions in your mind. The scale is separate, right? And then the scale is in the, I'll show you in the next example. According to what the question is, it applies to your scale. So because the question is saying 47 millimeters, you're saying 1 millimeter is equals to 1.5. It's not written there, but that's how you find it. You find the unit in the question, right? So first of all, we ignored this part of the question, right? So we're saying the map measurement, they gave you the map measurement, and we're going from map to actual. We're going to multiply by that 1.5 million. We got our answer. That was the first part of my answer. Now I'm doing my conversion to meters. I've got 70,500 meters. And my second part tells me how many kilometers is it. So 70,500 meters. To go to kilometers, what am I going to do? Right, I'm at meters and I want to go to kilometers, right? I'm going to again divide by 1000. Okay, and my answer is going to be 70.5 kilometers. So can you see that this two parts of the question is conversions and that part of it is a scale factor?